So, United talk. Lovely day. It was beautiful. Just before I left the house, get out to my usual spot, and it chucks it down. Lovely. How are we all doing anyway? Well, what I want to talk today, a few things really. One is, as per standard, another day, another absolute load of waffle in the mainstream media about United. Mr. Stan Collymore and the absolute fountain of knowledge that he is. Has everybody seen this? United will be sniffing around Unai Emery should Villa part ways. Oh, you can't make it up, can you? Like I said in the media video that I done, it's just nonsense and waffle using that name to generate their clicks and revenue. Just come out of all sorts of nonsense. Now, Amorim has been put in place by Ineos, who throughout their ventures in sport have been quite data driven, and the data so far, aside from the shot conversion rate, is very high. XG first. It just means that we've got to stick it in the net. Stick it in the net, win games of football, move up the table, and then there'll probably be a quick 180. Amorim was awesome. I always said give him time. Muppets. But yeah, the main point I wanted to talk about is Mr. Marcus Rashford. Not only Rashford, but young footballers. I know he's not young, but young footballers being thrown into the limelight and smoke being blown up their arse, and the impact that has on their long-term personality, mentality in the game. Now, I'm sure, did everybody see Paul Scholes? Went in on him, didn't he? So Marcus Rashford, as we all know, should have been a United legend, one club player. Now, I can't say I was a massive Rashford fan. I was a fan of his, obviously. My gripe with him was always, he's got an abundance of talent. He does things you think, yeah, that's good, that's really good. But it's just always been here. He just hasn't got it about him, has he? And then, as Scholes said, the way he down tools because people weren't kissing his arse. Sulked about, stunk the gaff out week after week because he has this entitlement. But you weren't delivering, Marcus. That's what it was. And then you got your move. Somehow blagged the move to Barcelona when really you didn't warrant it, but you got lucky. And you went there and you say all the right things, and then within a few days we see both sides of Marcus Rashford. So against Newcastle, played really well. Phenomenal goal, absolutely phenomenal goal. And again, this is what I mean, we know he's capable of that. He's done it many times, done it in a red shirt a lot, but always managed to follow it up with a stinker. And lo and behold, what's he done? Man of the match performance against Newcastle, 2 really good goals. Then he decides, you know what, rules don't apply to me, just swan up to the meeting or training whenever I like. And Hansi Flick has gone, hang on mate, you ain't doing that. Dropped. Now let's see if he sulks about there, stinking the place out. You can't do it, Marcus, because you're in last chance saloon, mate. If it don't work out here, you got no more excuses. Now I'd like to see him do well, twofold, or maybe 3, because A, if he goes and does well and has a season which I think bred this sense of entitlement, you know the season I'm talking about, the Marcus Rashford season where he was really good, and then yeah, we'll be looking at a few pennies coming in the summer. Also, from an England point of view and the World Cup, I want him to do well. And I want him to do well because obviously he's a United lad and came through the academy and whatnot. But I just don't think he's got the temperament, the mentality to use those gifts that he's got, to roll his sleeves up and to work hard. And look at Ronaldo, had talent, but it wasn't enough to make him where he wanted to be. So what did he do? He bust his balls. He worked every single day, everything he done, and he went from a show pony winger when we first got him, and he saw what he needed to do and he done it, and now he'll quite rightly go down as one of the greatest players of all time. But that was through hard work. It wasn't like a Lionel Messi, like a natural unbelievable talent. His was a lot of hard work, a lot of gym work, a lot of extra training. Countless stories of Ronaldo's first one in, last one out. Got his mind set, I want to do this, and he done it. And he done it day in, day out, for years. And that's what gave him the platform to go on and be the player that he was. Now Marcus has them abilities. Hell of a shot on him. Little back lift like the one against Newcastle, bang. And we've seen that a number of times for United. We've also seen him be very wasteful at times and not putting in the work. Now, a man of them talents should think, do you know what, I can push myself on here. I can push myself on to be one of the best players in the world. But for some reason he just doesn't do it. And I don't get it. He's got such a gift that the rest of us mere mortals would love to have, and to be in that position. And I imagine that we'd all work a damn sight harder. But this is what my other point was, is it because they come in so young, they're not mature, not mentally mature, and what with social media and everything now as well, they get so many plaudits, so much praise, like I said, smoke up their arse from day one, that they think, I'm the man, I ain't got to do it. So then it's almost like taking it for granted, resting on the laurels, just all becomes, it's like an arrogance, like Garnacho, another one. I genuinely think the guy thinks he's Ronaldo regen. The attitude on the kid, like he is a Messi, a Ronaldo, or whatever, and he's just nothing really, just a bog standard footballer. He's not in their league, not even in their conversation. Yet the way he acts is like he is. And this is what I mean. Is it are we giving these kids too much too young? I mean, Marcus, he was Louis van Gaal gave him his debut. Young kid, come in, done well. Obviously scored on his debut, scored against Arsenal. Done some good things. And then obviously the hype starts. And then he had that season, hell of a season. I will give him that, hell of a season. But then we sort of panicked. Gave him a Ronaldo type contract. And then he stunk the gaff out after that. He's had flashes, but he hasn't warranted that contract. He hasn't warranted the people talking about him like he's one of the best in the world, because them people, they do it year in, year out, week in, week out. Not when they can be bothered. They don't just give up when the going gets a bit tough. That's what sets them apart. But like I say, I think these young kids, and more so now because of social media, YouTube, things like that, and I think it's a bit Ronaldo Messi effect, because they were obviously world superstars, not just in football, in everything. Now I think them kids come in, they do quite well, and like I say, then they think they've done it. They think they've conquered the mountain, they've climbed the mountain, and that they should be viewed, or they view themselves in the same standing, and then there's probably people around them obviously clinging on, looking for that payday and blowing smoke up their arse, and it gets to their heads, I think. The media as well, they're a big part of it, because they love to do it, and they've always done it, and that's build them up so high, because they know there'll be a wobble, and then they can smash them down. So that doesn't help. Well, it's always happened. I mean, it happened with Beckham, happened with Rooney, sort of tried to do it with Ronaldo, but couldn't. Marcus, they obviously jumped on that, which they're going to do. So probably didn't help as well, so he started sulking rather than, you know, standing up to it and being like, right, I'll show you, which is a disappointment for me. But it also got me thinking, well, so there's obviously now there's other young kids, and as soon as they start doing well, where are they linked to? We're going to make some money out of these. How can we blow these up quick? Wharton, he's doing all right. Man United want him. Anderson gets in the England squad. Oh, Man United want him. Like I say, what's it going to do when they're that age and they get obviously the money in football and all that celebrity? It's quite hard to control, but it doesn't help. It doesn't help their long-term standing, I don't think. And it got me to wondering, is Ruben, does he know this? And is this why he's clipping Mainoo a bit? Because obviously the kid's talented. He's very talented. But is he like, no, I ain't having that. I'm not having a Garnacho on my hands here. Now I think personally he is. It might be wrong. It might be solely for football purposes, but I'd like to think that Ruben's smart enough to know, and he's just, you know, just keeping him in check a bit and trying to help keep him on a level, keep him level-headed. Like I say, it doesn't help because the media are already on it, aren't they? But why should, just because you've got a bit of talent as a kid, why should that mean? Why should that mean he's in the team week in, week out? You've got to earn it. So maybe Ruben's gone for that. Maybe it's like I say, we've got a hell of a player here, hell of a prospect, but I don't want that mindset. So maybe that's why he's keeping him in check a bit. You know, telling him, you've got to fight against Bruno. You've got no God-given right to just waltz in because there's a bit of hype around you, because you played well. Obviously he's a young kid, he's only really played a season properly, a full season, and then obviously he's had injuries, and then he done well for England. But then, like I say, media, boom, blow him right up. So maybe Ruben is trying to fight against that. Now what I wonder, are the clubs, are they doing enough? Are they doing enough to help these kids, to teach these kids as they're coming up, to get them ready for this, what they're going to be thrust into? I see it already. Kids in the youth team already. JJ Gabriel, Kai Rooney, already starting. Are the club doing enough to keep them in check, to give them a grounding, so they don't turn out like a Garnacho or a Rashford, but rather a Ronaldo, a Beckham, a Scholes? So I wonder if they should be doing more with these kids. You know, sort of teaching them, going over case studies like these, bringing Ronaldo to attention and telling them, look, you're going to be in for it, it's going to come, there's going to be hangers on, there's going to be people blowing you up, there's going to be people trying to knock you down. Are they doing enough for these kids? Max Dowman, another one at Arsenal, obviously not our club, but my good friend at work is a gooner, told me about this kid. Told me about this kid last year, and he said he's got something about him, and obviously he's done well, a few first team appearances, and everybody's going mad, absolutely mad for it. Like, he's a kid. Just let him be. But we can't, can we? So that's what I mean. And I think maybe Arteta's doing the same. I know they've brought in and they've got a lot of depth in their squad now, but maybe Arteta's doing the same as what I think Ruben is with Mainoo, but doing it from the start. Give him a little taste of the first team, because the kid's got talent. Give him a little taste, then bring him back in check. Say, right, that's what you got to aim for. Now you know. Carry on progressing. So Cheeto was another one, weren't he? Smashing all sorts of records in the young age group, and then it's like massive hype, massive pressure on a young kid, and then he obviously gets thrust into the first team because of need. But now he's been taken back out. So is Ruben doing the same thing there? Is he like, now we don't need for it, now I'm going to keep him, clip his wings a bit? Well, that's what I hope they're doing. That's what I think they should do. So what's everyone's thoughts? What do you think? Because I think it's ruined certain footballers, and it'll only get worse, and we don't want that to happen. If Kai Rooney is going to be anywhere near as good as his dad, then let's let him mature so he's ready for it. Like this JJ Gabriel, like don't hype them, put them on a pedestal so young that they become so entitled. I don't know, that's just got me thinking. So I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts on it. Like I say, I'm always looking for football discussion, debate, especially around United. So, you know, drop me a line in the comments and try and get some back and forth going. Lovely old job. Cheers for listening, guys. See you in the next one.